Welcome back to episode numero ocho of Real, Raw, and Random Podcast. I'm Susan.
I'm Millie. This is Taquito. He's sleeping.
And I'm Jordyn.
And yes, we did miss a week. We're back. Things just kind of got a little bit busy between travel and work and gym and life.
Yeah.
Right. So it was a nice week off. So what did you guys do?
That week when you were gone, I was just working. Me and Jalen hit the gym by ourselves. I was really sad. Yes, y'all can call me dramatic, but working out by myself instead of with my girls, that shit is boring. Huh? Like, I do not have fun.
Sad.
Like,
she sent a picture of herself, and like when I played the live, like she's like, so the picture she sent, she's like looking down. But when I played the live, she's like looking up and then she looks down. It's like the saddest thing ever. It's so sad.
No, because like honestly, I just realized like that working out for the whole week by myself, like it was just boring because obviously Jalen hurt her back, so she's been doing cardio. And like
I didn't know that.
It just was not the same. I was like, oh, this is so boring. Like I would be having so much fun right now if they were here.
She's still healing from that. Like when you hurt your back, anything anything to do with your back, it's like you're just done.
It's the
worst. And then she pushed herself. When we were with Big John, because we were doing that leg workout, she pushed herself when she was already in pain. So that she just extended it out because then she's already can't bend because of her back. And now she couldn't like squat down because of how sore you get like after leg day? This was like an intense sore. Like we were all like
walking like penguins. Penguins.
I was like on the plane. I was like, oh my God, my legs hurt. Like it wasn't until like probably the third day that I was finally like, okay, I'm like, it doesn't hurt. But yeah, that was intense. It was a good workout.
That's insane.
It was a good workout.
So when was it like in relation to you going on vacation? It was the day before? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It was the day before. And so yeah, and then that's like it set in. It was intense. I was like walking around the airport and I was like stretching and then like sitting on the plane. You guys know I can't sit still for too long. So that was already hard enough as it was. And usually like I put my feet up on the seat. So like I have my feet pulled up. Like not like I literally have my feet on top of the seat.
Oh, okay.
Like a little kid. But it's just because I can't sit still. And so like I put my feet up and then I kick them out into the aisle and I get up and go to the bathroom when they let me. So like flights are hard for me sometimes. But.
Flights are hard for me too. That shit is just mad uncomfortable. What airline did you fly? I'm just curious.
Southwest.
Was it cheap?
No, but they're always better.
Okay.
Because you're not having to pay for... I mean, it ends up sometimes balancing out, honestly. But you don't have to pay for the luggage. You get 2 check bags for free. And then if you need to change, like, the date or the whatever...
It's
like,
free.
It's all free.
It's just you have to sit wherever. You can't pick where you see. That's all.
But you also, like, if you are timing it correctly... So, like, if your flight is supposed to leave at 8:50 in the morning, you just log on at 8:50 in the morning the day before... so that you can check in and you get boarding class A. And so like, I wasn't worried about it because my 2 friends who I went with, they're super responsible. And so like,
you knew it was taken care of.
Yeah, I know it's taken care of. So like my boarding was like B, which is better for me to board later anyway, because I can't sit still that long. So for me, I would rather like sit and wait or just stand and wait outside instead of like sitting on the flight. So by the time I get in there, they have a seat saved for me. And so
that's cool.
We're golden. We're pretty golden. But yeah, what did you do last week?
What did I do last week? I just worked mainly. I started writing some new YouTube videos. I'm excited about the couple that I have like scripted out and how I want it. Because the way that I do the videos is just, it's more visual in my head. Like I'm writing like, okay, this is what's going to happen in the edit when you say this sentence and this and this. So that was pretty cool. I got a new mattress, which is much needed. My back is fucking killing me. Oh my God, it feels so much better.
Isn't it crazy like how that makes such a difference?
My God, I feel like more relaxed. Like, because the other mattress was a memory foam mattress, but it was just really old. And this new one, oh my God, bless you. The minute I got the mattress, it was like ordered it from Amazon, took it out of the bag so it can expand. I just let it expand a little while I just got everything ready and started washing my sheets and shit. The minute I laid on that mattress that night, it was like my back was like, completely oh my God, different. Thank God.
good.
I got pulled over this week.
Oh my goodness.
It was the worst experience ever.
What happened? What did you do?
I was going to work.
Ooh, what did you do? What did you do?
It wasn't a mean thing. It was definitely my fault because I was going to work and my boss has been kind of on me about getting to work on time because I'm like developing and trying to move up to a higher role.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's just, you're like 6 minutes late. Like you're not even that late. Cause the threshold is like 4. Once you hit 5 minutes, you're late. You flag on a report. She's like, it's just a couple more minutes. Like you just got to leave a little bit earlier. And I've been doing really good for like, well, all of this year, really.
Yeah.
It was last year when that was a problem. And, so it was just this morning. I think it might have been the last night that I was sleeping on the old mattress. I just was so like I couldn't go to sleep. Maybe it was because I was thinking about the mattress. So I went to sleep late, woke up late because of that, and was rushing to work. And I was trying to hit this one stoplight that always gives me trouble. Like when I'm getting off of the exit, it's this one stoplight that's like right before I get to work.
Is it under the bridge?
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about.
It's the fucking worst.
I know what you're talking about.
So
it's annoying.
I'm trying to hit the damn stoplight and I'm going like 90. Mind you, if you're getting ready to go off of an exit on the highway, the speed limit, exactly.
Yeah.
The speed limit is going from like maybe 80 gradually to 70. Then it switches automatically to like 60. And when you're going down the ramp, it's 30.
Yeah.
And I was going like almost getting onto the ramp and I was pushing it. I was pushing 90. And then the cop car, it was like one of those unmarked ones. And he was like on my ass. He didn't turn his lights on. And I was like, what the I moved over. I was like, can you like move? And then he flashed his lights and my heart sank to my stomach. I was like, fuck, man. And then he was like, hey, I pulled you over because you're going 90. And then he explained to me that the area could either go 60 or 50 or 70 or 80, whatever it was. So the threshold that I was in, it was before the speed limit was changing. It could have went either way. He was like, if I say that you were going 90 in a 50 or 60 mile zone, you're definitely going to have to, it's like automatic, the court date.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Exactly. And so he was like, but I'm going to give you a break because you told me you was late to work. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm late to work. It's just that one stoplight. I pointed at it. It's just that one stoplight I'm trying to hit. I was going too fast. That's my bad. Like, I admit I was going too fast. I wasn't even thinking straight. And he was like, yeah, I understand. I understand totally. And he fucking gave me a ticket. And I was like, he seemed so nice. I was like, damn, maybe he's not going to give me a ticket. And he comes back with the paper in his hand. I'm like, motherfucker.
We're a girl, you might have gotten away with it.
Dead ass. I was thinking about that. I'm like, shit, this sucks.
I don't know. I think it depends. It depends on the officers. Like when you and I were talking about it, I was like, I mean, I've been pulled over, and I'm not proud of it. I'm not. I've been pulled over a lot. And I was just like, oh fuck.
Especially when you were driving that Camaro, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I did get pulled over in my Jeep. This is really embarrassing.
Oh wait, did you tell us about this?
I don't think so. I may have. I think I might have told you guys about it. So, when I would go up to Cripple Creek, because you can go up there by yourself. It's pretty easy to like go hang out by yourself. And so like I would get bored and just be like, oh, I just left the gym. Let me go up to Cripple Creek. Let me go win some money. And so I was like overly aware of the fact because I had gotten a ticket up there speeding, like going around one of those curves where there's like that little water, like you're almost at Cripple Creek and there's like a little pond or whatever. And I'd gotten a ticket and I was already annoyed at that. So I was like, let me not get another ticket. And this was several years ago. So it's been a minute since I've gotten a ticket, knock on wood, whatever. And so I'm coming back from Cripple Creek. I'm coming back down and I'm like, I see the cop and I'm watching my speed. I'm going 35 miles per hour, not at all over. And there's just this long line of cars behind me. And I'm like, why? I just feel like I'm going the speed limit, but am I like, it's like I'm holding the people up. Like, this is really weird. I was like, okay, I don't know. So I'm just like overly aware. And then the cop pulls like on the side of all the cars and then comes and pulls me over. And I was like, what did I do? I wasn't speeding. And he goes, ma'am, have you been drinking? Is the first thing he asked me. And I was like, no. And then,
not yet.
Yeah. And then I was like, no. I was like, I just like came from Cripple Creek. And then he's like, how was it? And I was like, good. I won money, but now I'm going to spend it on this. And then he was like, no. He's like, I just want to make sure you're okay because you're driving really slow. And I go, Well, the speed limit is 35. Well, when it's yellow and you're going around a curve, it's suggested 35, but it's really whatever it is before that. I didn't know that. Whatever. I was just trying to be a good person. So I was like, okay. And he goes, but you weren't going 35. And I was like, yes, I was. And then he goes, no, you weren't. And I was
15.
like, I promise you I was. I was like, I was going 35. And he goes, okay. He goes, well, you had a whole line, like you were like holding up the cars. It was like a parade of cars. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I'm sorry. And he's like, don't worry about it. He's like, just,
Just speed up next time.
Make sure everything's okay and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then like he took my information down. He gave me his card, how they have to, like when they do like the routine stops or whatever. But I didn't get a ticket. And then, so I take off again and I'm like, why does it feel like I'm going so fucking slow? Like it just feels weird. I had changed the thing from miles per hour to kilometers per hour. So I was going like 15 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's insane.
And so then he ends up, by the time I get down the hill, he ends up calling me. And he was like, did you make it down, like down the mountain okay? And I was like, yeah. I was like, by the way, I was like, can I tell you what happened? I was like, I accidentally hit the menu on my thing and changed it from miles per hour to kilometers. And he thought it was the funniest shit ever. He goes, I thought you were on something. He goes, because you were so adamant that you were going 35 miles per hour. I was like, oh, I was
Why
going 35.
Why did he let you go?
I don't know.
That's crazy. That's insane. If you really thought that something was wrong with you and you were really going 15, that's insane. He goes,
that's why I'm calling you, just to make sure you're okay. He goes, because I wanted to follow up. And I was like, oh, that was so nice of you. But like, I didn't get ticketed, but that was embarrassing.
That's nice, but damn,
that
that's
shit was
fucking
embarrassing
insane.
as hell. I was like,
shit.
So yeah, so that was my, and I was like, so I've been pulled over for speeding and pulled over for like going way too slow, which the way too slow one, I was like, that's fucking embarrassing.
Because if you get a ticket for that, it's impeding the flow of traffic.
Yeah. And he didn't give me a ticket. He just was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just like, I'm good. I didn't have anything to drink. I'm good. Like, I was like, I promise you. And he let me go, but he was just like, we just wanted to make sure, like, you can hear him and his partner just like laughing their asses off. And he was just like, you were so adamant. And I was like, I was going 35, not miles per hour. I was going kilometers per hour. I was like, but yes, it was definitely different. So
that is insane.
That is actually really funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like maybe had you been a girl.
Yeah, cause like, damn, you was going 15 and he let you go.
I mean,
that's cool.
I got pulled over going over 100 before too, and like they let me go several times.
Must be nice.
It says it's been a while. Like I need a fast car again. Maybe I don't need a fast car.
I need a fast car again because the car I had before this one was way faster. This shit kind of sucks. I had to press on that bitch to go that fast.
That's mine too. But I'm like, maybe it's like a blessing in disguise because it's keeping me like.
The ironic thing though is like I had only gotten pulled over once in that Kia, and it was when I was probably like 18. Like or 17. I think I was still in high school, and it was in the residential area. I was going way too fast. I didn't see him or hear him behind me because my music was so loud, and I wasn't paying attention because obviously I'm not staring in my rearview mirror. I'm looking straight ahead. So eventually I see him and he's like, yeah, I pulled you over because you know how when you come through like when you go by Loaf and Jug over here and you're trying to like, you could go towards the high school. Yeah. That's where I was going at the time, except I was going the opposite direction towards my grandparents' house. And yeah, he pulled me over and I was like, oh shit. Cause it was the same feeling as I had as this last time. Like I'm moving over. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in this guy's way. He's trying to go stop criminals. And
well, but sometimes that is the case though.
That's happened before.
Yeah.
I have a friend that got pulled over not pulled over. He got a ticket because he was in the way of an ambulance. He didn't see it behind him.
Pretty bad.
Ooh, that shit.
Because that shit is loud. Like if you're not hearing that ambulance, like you're not paying attention. This one's a really good driver.
Really?
She's a really good driver. Like I told her mom, like I actually was pretty impressed. It was funny at first when she first got her license. Because I was like, bitch, you can barely see over the fucking steering wheel. How the hell are you going to drive? Like, she sent us a picture of her in her car, and the steering wheel is, like, huge. We're like, why is that so big? I was like, she needs a whole booster seat because, like, she's, like, trying to look over the edge. She's a really good driver.
The car you have now, is it your first car that you ever had?
Every time I turn, I have to, like, sit up. Literally sit up.
She does. That's why I said she needs a booster seat.
That's crazy.
They need adult booster seats for cars.
They make those, actually.
Do they?
For little people.
My mom says I drive like a viejita, and I was like, true, because I get so scared. Like, I don't know, I just get so nervous. I get
You
so
drive
scared.
well though. Like
Mhm.
Sammy drives like a little old man.
Yes,
Like
he
slow?
does.
Sometimes I'm like, Sammy. The only time he got pulled over was because he was going too slow.
Really?
Yeah, and that's the only time. And it's because he was picking up dinner for us and something had spilled. And so he was trying to reach over to get it.
Mm.
And so then he was going even slower. And the officer pulled him over and he's like, I'm so sorry. Like, my mom's dinner is like right there. And he's like, you're good. You're good. But he didn't get ticket, like nothing. So I would rather him be out. And I told your mom this when she was like, she drives like a little old lady. I was like, you know what? Be grateful to God for that, because I would rather you guys drive like little old people than you guys drive like bats out of hell and keep getting spit, because that shit's expensive as hell. It's like it messed with my insurance for a long time. Like,
That's the thing I'm like fucked up about is I don't know how high my insurance is gonna go up. It's only one ticket, but still, it's still gonna go up.
anytime they get a chance to like,
That reminded me
raise
of
your
something
rates.
for some reason. I have jury duty coming up. This is my first time ever having jury duty.
you know, I have never been summoned for jury duty.
I kind of want to get summoned for jury duty.
Do you?
Yeah, I kind of want to be on the jury. I
wonder
think
how
that would be.
work for me being a remote worker.
They would have to pay you.
Yeah, but I work for the state of New Jersey. I don't work for Colorado.
It would be a different payout, maybe, but they would. Every state they have to pay you while you're in
I'm
jury duty.
confused. How does that stuff even work?
How does what work?
Like,
Jury
you're
duty?
registered, and they just randomly summon you. Like, Sammy's been summoned. Like, everyone I know, I have never been summoned, not
But,
once
like,
for jury
do you
duty.
have to do it or no?
Yeah, like, and more often than not, they cancel them. Like, a lot of the times, but there's been times that, like, I know my brother-in-law got put on a case, and like, there was a teacher I worked with. She ended up like on 4 different cases, like where she was out of work.
That's
And I was
crazy.
like, mm-mm.
Because the only time that you can ever get out of it is if it's like for a medical reason. Because my granddad had to do that. He had to go through the process. He's like, yeah, I can't go back and forth to jury duty every day. I have doctor's appointments. And somehow he was able to get out of it. But yeah, I want to serve on a jury. I think that would be cool.
I mean, probably.
I want like
I don't
a
think
crazy shit. Like I want the trial of the century. I just want to be
in
on there.
Colorado.
Imagine. There's been some crazy shit
Isn't
that's
that
happened
when
in
you,
Colorado.
like, determine if the person's guilty or innocent?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
So it's like
feel
we
like
the
it would
jury
be
find
fun.
guilty.
I feel like it would be fun if you get like a crazy ass case, but I feel like it'd be boring if you just go on like one of them boring cases. Like, no.
I know.
Like it's a civil case. If it's a civil case, then it's boring because it's just for money. But if
Yeah.
it's a criminal case, like you decide if somebody's
Like
going
a
to jail or
murder?
not. Yeah.
Murder case or a kidnapping.
I don't think I would get chosen. I think they would kick me out.
If
I
you
would
were
say
answering honestly, they
I would
wouldn't
say something stupid, or I would not even stupid. I would just be myself, and then they'd be like, yeah, we're not having you on the
pass.
thing."
Because that's the other thing. That's why a lot of people don't get chosen for juries is because they're not fitting like what they're looking for in a sense. Because they're like picking the jury out, and it's like, nah, you're too biased, or you have
Which
a
is
shitty
crazy that they
opinion.
have that much control over choosing something.
'Cause
like
it
that, if you
defeats the
think about it.
purpose.
Yeah, if you think like that, it definitely changes the dynamics of what should come of it.
And that's why they say, like, because you're entitled, if you commit a crime and you go to trial for said crime, you're entitled to a jury of your peers. But a lot of the time, they're not your peers because the person choosing them is like, it's just like you just said, they have an opinion. They're like, yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you're on this jury and you have a bias that is not necessarily overt, and you're like, yeah, I think he's guilty, or I think he's innocent. Meanwhile, you're going the wrong way.
Like they're guilty no matter what.
That shit,
God.
I think that would be cool. I told my mom that, and she was like, what? Like, who are you? You're
No,
an old
because I
person.
just feel like that's like interesting. Like I feel like I would enjoy it, especially if it's like a murder case or like if
I
it's a
don't think I would
case.
want to know all the details and shit.
Oh,
like
I
that.
wouldn't know all the details,
But you
like-
would have to.
But like I would be scared to see like pictures and stuff.
Because that shit
Like
is
traumatizing.
Exactly.
I think you would do well with that kind of thing though, because you pay attention to details. I don't.
I do. I'm
So
literally,
you
literally
memorize like faces,
every
and
little
like,
thing.
you memorize so much shit. Cause like sometimes like we joke and we're like, oh God, Millie's not. But you're paying attention more than most people are, and so like I think you would
Yes.
do well with that. Me, you can't have me sit that long. Because I would be trying to talk to the people next to me. Like when my ex-husband and I were in divorce court, we had to, it's awkward as hell, like sitting in those like the courthouse. So they put you in front of everyone else getting divorced or whatever cases they have going on. And then literally like you're sitting in the audience and they're airing your shit out for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we had to go for like, they make you go to get like trained before you go to actual court. So you have to go like, they're like, this is what's going to happen and this is how it's going to go, and do not approach the judge this way and don't talk like this and don't do that. Like they give you the ins and outs. And so like my ex-husband, like there were times during the process where he acted like he still knew me and he was still friendly with me, and other times he acted like I didn't exist. So I was like, whatever, I don't give a shit. And so like one of the times we had to sit there and they were just like blah blah blah, and I took a whole stack of grading of papers that I had to grade, and I'm just sitting there like grading or whatever. And then I think we were on friendlier terms at that time, and I turned one of the papers over and I wrote "you're a stupid bitch" or something on it, on the back of it, and then I slid it over to him and he started dying laughing. And then the guy comes over, he goes, "Sir, what's so funny?" And then he goes, "Nothing, nothing." And then he was just like, "Okay," he goes, "I need you to pay attention because this is really important." And I was like, you got in trouble. And then something else came up because the guy looked like Humpty Dumpty, and so I drew little Humpty Dumpty, and I'm pretty artistic, so I think it's pretty funny. I drew a little Humpty Dumpty, and then the guy it looked like a toupee, so I drew a little toupee on him and like whatever. And then I put a little arrow like pointing to the guy, and I slid it over to my ex-husband. He was dying laughing again, and the guy comes over, he goes, "Sir, I'm gonna kick you out." And I was like, "Kick him out." You should kick him out.
Yeah,
Like,
get this fucker out of here.
Distracting me. I was like, he's distracting me. I was like, and like, he's not even paying attention. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there grading all my papers.
That's insane.
But it's awkward. I don't know. The whole court system, it's a money grab.
One
for
trial
everything.
I wish I could get put on is if Diddy goes to trial. I want to be on that trial so I could know all the details, because I've never
Dude,
been
all
more
those
confused about
details-
anything.
Those details are gonna be leaked either way.
I've never been more confused about anything than I have been about this. It's just so much conflicting things going on, and like new details. Like apparently, I don't know how much of this I can say. I might have to bleep some of it. But apparently there's an audio tape of Diddy and Meek Mill together.
So they said that came from Snowfall.
Really?
Yeah, that scene in Snowfall where the guy is getting grapes.
Oh, thank God. Oh, grapes. That was a good one. That was good.
Do you remember that? Oh, you've never seen Snowfall. So there's a really raw scene at the very beginning of Snowfall. And I heard the audio and I was like, first of all, why have I heard this before? And then somebody goes, "That's from Snowfall."
Yeah, that shit
where,
is scary.
like, because they stole like the drugs and then they went to go find them. And so then one of the guys was graping another guy. And like they said that's what that's from. So
Wait, what is even this whole Diddy thing? Like, I'm so lost, Jordyn.
So
They're pretty much saying he's sex trafficking.
Well, not just that, but he has this long drawn out history of all these celebrities, Justin Bieber, Usher, young celebrities that he has basically had sex with. So at that point it's
consensual. It's not grape
it's
anymore.
Not consensual because they were Usher was 13.
Oh yeah, it's still grape.
He lived with him for it's still grape. It's like it's minor grape, and so like Usher was living with him for an entire year at the age of 13, and Usher has like before he's talked about the fact that like they would take him to parties and he'd be like, "Why am I at this party? Like
I should be in the studio.
Yeah, I should be in the studio recording." And like there's a song where Diddy's like, "Oh, we used to play fight undercovers. You were like my brother." And then there's an interview where Kevin Hart they're in the bedroom. They're in somebody's bedroom. It was one of Diddy's parties. And Kevin Hart's got the mic. And so you know who Kevin Hart is, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And so Usher walks in.
It would have been funny if
he
did.
He goes, "Here comes Usher walking in looking like he just got off the plane." And then Diddy like puts his arm around Usher and he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "We used to fight over the Frosted Flakes in the morning." He's like, "We used to wake up together." He goes, "Pause." And then he's like, "But yeah, he's like my brother." So every single thing he said was in the song. Mm-hmm. And so like we learned obviously from R. Kelly, they tell on themselves. R. Kelly told on himself with all the lyrics
numerous times.
And so if you look back at a lot of the songs that Diddy has done, that's exactly what he was saying he did. But we go back to the conversation we had about R. Kelly. Why the fuck did Usher's parents let him live with Diddy for an
I wanna
entire
I
year.
wanna look up what he looks like. I haven't seen what he
You don't
looks
know who
like.
Diddy is?
Who?
No.
He looks different than he used to, I
He
guess.
used to be Puff Daddy, and then he switched to P Diddy.
And now he's
That's
Love.
him?
He's what?
He's Love. He calls himself Love.
Oh, okay. See, I'm not familiar with names, but I know what he looks
So
like.
his ex basically has put this thing out saying that like he like she has a list of all the men he's had sex with. So he's playing this straight man role, this father loving role this entire time, but he's been having sex with men. He's making women do like all this nasty stuff. He's paying people to do stuff. I mean, 50 Cent has been very vocal about not liking him for years. And
50
it's funny.
Cent.
It's
I
funny.
think that shit is hilarious.
And
I'm
you know
sorry.
what? I think that 50 Cent he's getting a lot of clout from this too, because he's been raw and real about it this entire time. Like there was one podcast he went on and they were almost like coming at him. They were like, so what's this deal about you always calling him gay? And he goes, man, I didn't call him gay. And then they're like, okay, we're going to quote exactly what you said. And like they were quoting it where he was just like, you know, he's fruity and him and his rainbow friends, they can have fun and blah, blah, blah. And then 50 Cent goes, man, he goes, he says some fruity shit. Like he says some stuff that just makes me feel uncomfortable. He's like, and I don't know if he knows it. He's saying it all the time. He goes, but he's like, when are you going to party with me? When are we going to party? He's like,
yeah.
He goes, and then he's like, I'll buy you clothes. You do that for a girl. You're not doing that for a dude. So like 50 Cent backed off of that. Clearly was uncomfortable with it. Was like, I'm not playing a part in this. And I mean, 50 Cent clearly has no issue. He's called out other people before too. And he's, you know, who's the feud
Rick Ross.
No, the reading one that I'll pay you.
Mayweather.
I'll pay you. Was it 750,000
to read
a
like,
page of Harry Potter? Because he's like he can't read.
He did Harry Potter and then he changed it to Cat in the Hat. He was like, just go on Jimmy Kimmel, read a page, a Cat in the Hat.
So Mayweather's a boxer. And so they had beef, but yeah, like the whole thing's pretty disgusting because I think this is gonna be even worse than the R. Kelly thing.
Oh, most definitely. Rick Ross is weird too. Remember, does he have a song? I put Molly on her champagne. She didn't even know it. He's
all
like,
these celebrities are weird. It's so much weird
like,
shit going on.
But if you think about again, like you know, and I love music. I always get teased and I kind of laugh about it too because I don't have like playlists. I just have like music, and so like it'll be like Selena, and then all of a sudden it's like Kodak Black, and then it's relaxation music, and it's annoying because I'm like I really
like
need
piano
to have
music
it.
and
yeah,
shit.
I'm like I really need to have it like organized. Like Little Baby pops up, and then all of a sudden it's like Pop Smoke, and it's just random. But like just having to put that. Where the hell was I going with this? My brain flew away. What did you say? What the hell were we talking
Rick
about?
Ross was like weird too for the lyrics.
Oh, so one of the conversations I've had before with people is that so they've said like psychologically they're like the music that you listen to says a lot about you and your personality. And I'm like half the time I'm not listening to the lyrics though. That's
it's
just
just
me.
the beat.
I'm listening to the beat. And so like when I go back, like there's songs that like as an adult I've listened to that I'm like, whoa, like Color Me Bad, I Want to Sex You Up. I remember my mom was like, you guys cannot listen. You guys know what that song is, right? So it was like, my mom was like, you guys cannot listen to it. I convinced my sister to buy the tape. And so like, as an adult, I listened to it and I was like, whoa, no wonder why. She was like, this is raw. Or like Genuine's Pony.
Oh yeah, that shit's crazy.
That's raw too. And I used to play that shit back to back. I didn't know what the lyrics were. I just liked the music. I liked the beat. And that's the truth for a lot of it. But like what you were saying about Rick Ross and his lyrics, like putting Molly in her champagne, that shit's not funny. It's not funny and it's not appropriate. And like, then you listen to those things over and over and over, and subconsciously your mind is taking it in, it's consuming it. And so eventually then what, it becomes just a part of like who you are and what you think is okay and acceptable. So like, in a way it's brainwashing. We don't even really truly understand that. That's why they say like, be very careful and be very intentional of what you consume. Because it does stay with you. And like, I remember I used to tell my ex, I was like, all the music you listen to, every single song is about like having sex and F this
and
girl
bitches,
and do this and do that and hoes and might jump off this. And I was like, you have the most disgusting playlist. Like, it's so gross. Like, nothing that is on there. And he would make fun of my stuff. And I'm like, I don't like listening to your stuff. And his stuff would be on repeat. And so, like, yeah, I think they tell on themselves.
Wait, didn't you say the next time you went over, he was like playing like love songs?
Yeah, he had somebody else's playlist at that point. It was
That was
someone else's playlist. But no, so speaking of crazy, when we were at the airport, we had to stop in Dallas, and I'm only going to tell one of the stories that happened because the other one I'm still a little bit traumatized over. But
and you shouldn't tell that.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that story. But well, no, there's the 3 stories. I told you about this one. So we land in Dallas, and it was about lunchtime ish, and so we went into, it was like a cantina and Mexican food, whatever. I had a really good salad, and it was me and my friend, and then my other friend was sitting across from us. And so we were like on an end booth, and so there was another family that was in the booth behind us. So I had a direct view of them and like everyone like walking through the airport, whatever. And so like we're ordering food, and so my friend is from Puerto Rico. She has a Puerto Rican accent.
Mm-hmm.
Love her accent. I love accents in general. I think they're freaking awesome.
Her accent, I love so when she talks though.
And so she ordered chicken, and did I tell you this? Oh, okay. So then
none of this is familiar so far.
So she ordered chicken. She ordered like chicken tacos. I got chicken salad. And then my other friend got something tacos. I don't know what it was. But she said, instead of saying chicken, she said chicken.
Yeah, chicken.
Which is typical. You know what I mean? Like it's just like
chicken salad.
Yeah, and so like I don't think anything of it because it's just how she speaks. And I don't think anything about anybody speaking differently because I'm just like, I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting.
I'm like, to me, that just means that they're intelligent on another level because they speak another language. Mm-hmm. And you activate a different part of your brain when you do that. And so there was a guy with what looked like to be 2 older people, because I couldn't really see them. Their backs were to me, but I had a straight eye line to him. And she ordered her food, and all of a sudden he starts going, chicken. I'll have the chicken. And he's just like looking up because there was a TV right by him. And then I literally did this, and I looked at him like thinking like he's gonna stop, and he's like, chicken.
Oh, like this is her, and you're looking around.
Yeah, and then he goes, he's looking at whom I'm assuming are his parents, and he's like 35, 36 years old ish, and he's just like, that's so funny, the chicken. And I look over and I go, I know you're not making fun of her how she fucking said that, right? I was like, you orange shirt wearing motherfucker, cross-eyed motherfucker. And I was like, you want to keep going? And like it came out just like this, and then like she just looks at me. My friend looks at me. She's like,
look mortified.
And his face, he just goes like this. And I go, oh, so we're not going to keep talking? And then I look at both my friends and I go, I might end up in jail because this motherfucker's pissing me off.
No shit.
I was like, him in his fucking orange shirt. I was like, cross-eyed motherfucker. I was like, do I need to keep going?
What's wrong with the orange shirt?
Okay, because Jordyn, at that point, I was attacking whatever.
He's like, yeah, you orange shirt, blue jean wearing motherfucker.
Listen, first of all, the orange was not cute. It was like cone orange. Like there's an appropriate orange, and on top of that, like and you're not gonna just make fun of somebody and act like you're gonna get away with it. And so they didn't say anything. They just kind of were like, and he puts his head down, and then like whoever was with him, like they didn't say shit. And I was like, that's right. Keep your mouth shut, you little bitch. And
yeah, with that orange shirt on, pussy.
Yeah, I was pissed. And so I was like, and so she didn't say anything. And then like we paid for our tab or whatever. He kept his mouth shut the rest of the time. And so like we paid our tab, and then they got up and they walked out before me, and I was grabbing my stuff because I had like my laptop and stuff out. And so I walked right past their table, and I was like, that's right, don't say shit, bitch. And then I just walked out. And so she was telling our other friend, she was like, exactly what, because our other friend was oblivious.
Of course.
Yeah. Like, just like did not. And so my friend was like telling her, she was just like, she's feisty. And I was like, no, fuck that. Like, you're not going to make fun of somebody, like, just because what you think you're better than them. Or, like, are you stupid? I was like, so maybe at that point, like you'll learn your lesson and shut your fucking mouth next time. Because I was like, that's one thing about me is that like there's certain things I'm just gonna be like, yeah, whatever. They're just stupid. Uh-huh. But then there's other things that are going to, if you make fun of somebody that I love. I am fiercely protective over the people that I love. And that is something that I'm like, you are not going to make fun of somebody because of an accent. You're not going to do that shit. Like, if we're playing around and it's something like, we all joke, we talk shit to each other all the time. The Mexican thing, the race thing, like, it's funny. But it's us. I'm not going to go walk up to some random person and just be like, let me start picking you apart. Can I do it? I mean, I've been around people who will say shit sometimes. And so then I'll look at them and I'm like, oh, so that's what we're doing? My turn. I'm gonna.
And then you just take it up here.
Oh, I'm gonna, because you want to come at me like that, and you want to start there. Guess what? My level's gonna come here. You're not gonna like it, and I'm gonna make you cry. And so, like, yeah, his face was just red, and he was just like this, and I was like, I hope this motherfucker learned a lesson from this shit, because, like, seriously, don't do that shit.
Because that shit was uncalled for.
Yeah. It's like, don't do that shit. And so I was like already heated about that. And then I walked out and I was like, I should get an ice cream. But like, oh, I was just done. I was
that would have made me mad too, because like I said, like the people I love, like, oh, it makes me so heated when someone makes fun of my, like, it's like anyone in general, like, number one, don't say shit about my mama, don't say shit about my family, and don't say shit about my friends, because I will, like, I will come at you 10 times harder than what you came at me for.
She's feisty too.
Like, please do not start shit with me.
Yeah, she's feisty too. She'll be like, oh, that's what we're doing? No, we're not doing that.
I used to be like that too. Like, if I knew something about you, I would keep it to myself until you made me angry, and I'm like, oh, well, that's why you can't fucking read.
Oh.
And it's like, because I'll never forget, there was this one time in high school, we were in math class, and this one kid was just being such a dick. And I'm sitting next to this girl that I was really cool with at the time.
Yeah.
Like, it was the whole situation of like, oh, maybe we want to date. And then it's like, no, we're just really cool friends. So I really care about this girl. And I could see how uncomfortable she is by how annoying he's being. Like, she's trying to concentrate. It's towards the end of the year where it's like everything you're doing our senior year is making or breaking your GPA.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh my God, I just wish he would shut the fuck up. And I'm like, I turn around and I'm like, can you stop? Like, are you just mad because you're not going to graduate? Is that what it is? Like, you want to ruin it for the rest of us that are going to actually get our diploma? Yeah. Is it because do you want attention because your parents don't care about you when you go home? Like, it's just taking it that extra mile, because it's like, okay, now I'm pissed off too, because you're making my friend uncomfortable. Yeah. So shut the fuck up. Yeah. Like, that shit. I'm like extremely on the opposite spectrum. Like, I'm extremely timid, and it takes a lot for me to
get there.
But that shit. That sounds insane.
It takes a lot for me to get to that. Okay.
That was a lot, though.
It takes a very bold act to get to. It doesn't take a lot. It takes a very bold act, because, like, that's one thing, is that I'm not gonna. I mean, they were also shocked because, like, the resort we stayed at, we had to stay on the bottom floor because it was harder for them to, like, for one of my friends to get up and down the stairs. She had surgery and whatever, and so we stayed on the bottom floor. So that means everybody up above is, it's kids and it's families, people, you're hearing sounds, right?
Oh, okay.
I didn't hear anything. The last night we were there, it literally sounded like this child was jumping off the fucking bed, running across the room, running back, jumping on the bed, jumping off.
That's probably what was happening.
And we had to be up at 5. I don't do well early in the morning. I already don't sleep well as it is. And so I'm like, had taken like my melatonin. I was like, let me try and get some sleep. Cause like traveling tired sucks. It sucks. I don't sleep on planes if I sleep on a plane, I'm dead tired. Oof. And so like we had gotten back from our dinner pretty late. It was almost 11:30 by the time we were finally like settling in, making sure our bags were almost packed and everything was ready to leave the next morning. And so like I just hear the pounding and the running, the pounding and the running. And I was like, all right, if I can fall asleep, it's going to be fine. So I fell asleep and I was out. And so like, I think what triggered me more on that than anything was the fact that like, it's hard for me to fall asleep. So I knew I was out, and I was woken up from a dead sleep to this little motherfucker jumping off the fucking bed.
What time was it?
Like 12:15, almost 12:30.
That's crazy.
And so then I like, nobody else in the play, there's 4 of us, nobody else like called. And so like, I literally rolled over and I couldn't see the phone, and I was just like, this has to be 0. And I just like hit 0. And then like they picked up and it was like this guy named Kyle. I was like, Kyle, I'm about to hurt somebody. I was like, I have an early morning flight. I'm trying to get to sleep. I was like, and this child, I don't know why it's still up. I was like, it's jumping off the bed. It's running across the room. I was like, it just woke me up out of my sleep. I was like, if somebody doesn't come over here and take care of it, I'm going to go up there. And I would have. I really would have. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to tell them to shut the fuck up. And he goes, I'm so sorry. He's like, that shouldn't happen. He's like, you shouldn't have to deal with that. He's like, we'll send security. 10 minutes later, dead silent. So they got, and I mean, Disney doesn't fuck around. They take care of everything.
Okay. I forgot about that part.
And so like, so then the next day we're on the flight and one of my friends, the guy behind her keeps kicking her seat and kicking her seat and kicking her seat.
Oh,
and
my
so
God.
she ends up messaging us because she was sitting in a different spot than we were. And she ends up messaging us. And my other friend goes, just tell Susan to go and yell at him. Like she makes shit stop. And then she goes, wait, what do you mean? And she goes, she's the reason why that kid stopped running last night. And she goes, wait, she called. I didn't know she did that. We didn't even have a chance to talk about it. And I was like, yeah, I was done. I was fucking pissed. I was like, enough is enough. If it's like 6:00 in the afternoon, all right, you're going to be annoying. It is what it is. I'll deal with it. We're trying to fucking, why is your kid up that late? And why are you allowing them to run back and forth like that? So yeah, it takes that point where it's like, either it's very, very bold or very like in your face wrong where I'm just like, all right, I'm fucking done. I'm done. And like, I was telling Tyler and Sammy have seen it a lot. And Tyler goes, that is the scariest version of you. He goes, when you hit that I'm done mode, he goes, it freaks me out. He goes, it scares me. And he's been on the end of it where like, I've been yelling at somebody else and he wasn't even getting yelled at. And Tyler was ready to like start crying because he's just like, I was so
uncomfortable.
Yeah. He's like, cause you guys know me, like, literally 99.9% of the time I'm laughing, I'm joking around, like there's something funny that is happening.
Exactly, something's like really serious.
Yeah, like if it's that 0.1%, like that's just, it's bad. And so like, yeah, so that was it with that guy. I was like, fuck no, you are not going to make fun of her and run your mouth like this. And like, it's that boldness that is like,
you're like, how dare you?
Yeah,
exactly.
The audacity.
And are you that tone deaf that you're that stupid that you're gonna say it that loud, like loud enough for me to hear it and for you to continue to repeat it over and over again, and the people that you're with are laughing about it, and then I call you on it and you can't even look me in the face, like you literally put your head down like a little bitch. It's like, okay,
yeah, you
right.
Orange shirt pussy. That shit's crazy.
That shirt was fucking ugly. I'm just gonna say this, okay? It was like, okay, and first of all, we know obviously I have a love of clothes, so like, and I would never have been like that. His shirt's fucking ugly. I would have thought it in my fucking head, but I wouldn't have said it out loud. But the first thing I saw was like, this motherfucker looks cross-eyed and he has this ugly ass polo orange shirt with this stupid little white line that's going across it. I was like, that's why I was like, you orange shirt wearing cross-eyed motherfucker.
I just feel like a lot of people, it's like, you don't know who you're messing with, like, or who's around. Like, people just don't realize, like, how fast.
That's the one for me. It's like, what's wrong with you? Like, you have to, for me, it's always been that thing. You have to have a screw loose to fuck with random people when you don't know what they have going on. I could be in, like, having the worst day of my life and this close from fucking snapping. And it's the same thing, like, at work. Like, I work a job in the building now that it went from I only deal with people from a customer service perspective to now there's a lot of the time where my schedule is getting moved around. So I'm getting things done while there's not people in the building. But it's still the thing of it's like I'll have questions about something or someone's trying to solve a problem because I still know customer service like down. So it's like they'll call me up there and it's like, hey, so I'm trying to return this TV. It has a big crack in it. Is there something you could do for me? I'm like, it's been 3 months. There's nothing I can do. It's like, well, I think that's pretty unacceptable. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you stupid or something? And it's like, no, okay, go fuck yourself. First of all, like, you don't know that I'm not crazy. You don't know that I'm not a fucking psycho that will light this bitch up.
Right.
That shit is crazy.
And even in that situation, it's controlled. When you're talking about doing like what this guy did,
you're just being an asshole.
There's no control in that because he doesn't know me. He doesn't know them. He doesn't know who else is around. Like in your environment, you have to keep a certain level of decorum because you're an employee there. You know you could lose your job. But you do that to somebody. We're just both
civilians. We're two civilians.
Yeah, like that's a whole other situation. And so it's like, you have to be very aware of like what you're saying and what you're doing. And most people are not. And I have said this for years, the last election, I kept telling, because there were a lot of my kids who, obviously, as you guys get older and you get into high school, you start to learn more about government and about how like all of
Mm-hmm.
politics and all that stuff
Mm-hmm.
works. And I had a couple of boys who were best friends, but they were politically on opposite sides and they started fighting with each other. And I told them, I was like, here's the deal. You don't have to agree on everything. It's not going to happen. Like, you will never 100% agree with everything. It's like Sammy and I, we get along so well. Like, this child, like, obviously he's been with me since I was 18 years old. He's always been by my side. We don't agree on everything, but we don't hate each other based off of that. And that's what I was telling them. I was like, the problem with society right now is that everybody wants to have an opinion, but then they get sensitive when you call them out on their shit.
Because they want their opinion to be the right one when there isn't a right one.
Well, and it's like you can't have that both ways. You can't state an opinion and then get upset because you're getting called out on something else. You have to be okay with somebody saying to you, no, you know what? No, you're wrong, and here's why you're wrong. But do it with facts. And so I told the boys, I was like, at the end of the day, your friendship is more valuable than this argument that you're having. And I was like, so have a very good discussion based off of facts and have those discussions with each other, because you never know. One of you may not know something that the other one knows. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I never thought about that. That's a new perspective. That's how you learn and grow. I was like, but the minute that you start to turn on each other and you're like, nope, this is right. And this is the only way to look at it. I was like, the conversation's done. And like I tell everyone, I'm like, I don't get into arguments with people that I know I'm going to lose. Like, I don't get into situations where I'm going to lose. I don't do that because I'm not stupid. And I would rather keep my mouth shut. And I've said this before. I would rather keep my mouth shut and have people assume that I'm a fool than to open it and verify that.
That's what pisses me off about like working customer service and shit. It's like, you don't know more than me. I'm sorry. You just don't. I've been doing this for years. I'm really good at this. You don't know more than me. It's the same thing. Like if someone was coming to you and they're like, for what you do, and they're like, well, shouldn't you move this over in this spot, or shouldn't you press this button and do it in this order? It's like, no, I shouldn't, because this is the right way to do it.
Well, and I think it's a little bit different in the creative world because there are a lot of opinions, and there are, like, I was just talking to Aaron. I haven't talked to him in a minute, so he was FaceTiming me from Hawaii. And so we were talking about the fact that like there's been times that like people have told me like, oh, you should do this, this, and this. And it's like, first of all, you don't know how long this process goes. And I don't take offense. I'm the type of person that I love feedback. If somebody says to me, I would rather have seen this, this, and this, that's awesome. Whether I apply it or not is my choice. But I love for somebody
For
to
the
say
creative
to me,
stuff.
right? I love for somebody to say to me like, hey, this is this, or this is that. I know that one of the things, because I mean, nobody does customer service more than teachers do. We work with more people on a daily basis than most anyone else does. We work with parents, we work with other teachers, administrators, kids. I mean, on a daily basis, I was around, you figure at the high school was what, 2,000 kids? Plus the staff, plus the parents, plus then like you go to the games and you've got umpires, like you've got like the amount of people I interacted with on a daily basis was not normal. It was not typical for most people. Most people are in an office, or like you guys worked with Chick-fil-A, you have your staff, you have the customers that are coming in, but even then those interactions are so limited. My interactions were very like heavy based, where it's like I knew these people, I got to know them over time, and then we had the strangers coming in. And so I learned very, very quickly that when people are escalated like that, they need to be calmed down. And all they need to do is to be like, I get why you're upset. I would be too. Literally, like, I would say almost 100% of the time when I come at them that way, even in the job I do now, you know, when I have a customer who's like, well, you did. And I was like, okay, hold on a second. Like, I understand you're so frustrated. Your time is valuable. And I get that. Here's what's happening. And it's not your fault and it's not my fault. So let's work together to fix this. I think a lot of people don't have that skill. They don't know how
Most
to
people
have,
don't
and
have
they
that
don't know
skill.
how to de-escalate. So like I ended up with a lot of the problem kids because like they would come to my class and they'd be like, "Rah," and I'm like, first of all, you're not triggering me because I'm a grown adult. So if you want to go over here and flip this chair and throw your tantrum, I think you were in my class one time when someone was throwing a chair.
Yes.
Okay. And everyone's just looking at me like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, nothing. throw the chair. I
What
don't give a
triggered
shit.
that though? Like what happened?
It was
Do you remember?
dramatic. It was I mean, there were several instances. That one was more of a because like he was upset at himself, and so he was just angry that he wasn't doing something he should have been doing. And so it wasn't directed at me. And I knew that. But guess what? Most people would take that offensively. They would take it personally and be like, he threw a chair in my classroom. No, he threw a chair in our classroom. Everyone's watching him. And guess what? You're going to encounter crazy shit like that in the real world. So guess what you do? Mind your damn business. Let him figure it out. He's going to calm down because the minute that you're like, are you okay? Or the minute that you're like,
you're just feeding in it, you're throwing something in there.
Why are you throwing that chair? Get out of my room. No, this is not my room. This is our classroom. This is our space. And so I was like, I'm going to let, everyone's like, you're not going to say anything. I was like, no, I'm going to let him calm down. And then I'm going to go and talk to him and be like, there was a better way for you to handle that. You embarrassed yourself. I didn't embarrass myself. I'm going to let you figure out how you can handle that better next time. Had he hurt somebody, had he thrown it at somebody, that's a different situation. So every scenario has a different like outcome. But to me, I was like, he threw the chair against the wall. Okay, the wall didn't get hurt. The chair didn't get hurt. It's what it is. It's fine. But I think that a lot of those situations, it's the reaction. Like people want you to fight with them, and then nothing gets solved. So usually, more often than not, I would just sit there and just kind of smile or not even have a reaction. I'll just kind of like stare at them and let them like yell and scream and whatever. And then I'd be like, okay, I get where you're coming from. I get why you're upset. Are you okay? The minute you say that, it dismantles them. Like they're just like all of a sudden everything just kind of falls down. Yeah. And then they're like, oh my gosh. I mean, I learned that as a teacher, you know, in parent teacher conferences when parents would come in and why did you fail my kid and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And my first thing I would always say was, all right, here's the facts. Here's what this is. Here's how many emails I've sent you. Here's how many times I've reminded him to do this. Here's how many reminders they had in class. So, okay, we're talking about 8 weeks. He had an opportunity over 8 weeks to turn this in, and you're upset because he didn't do it. And so now you're seeing the final outcome, but you didn't see everything that went into it. And then I would turn to the kid because the parents always want to attack the teacher. And so now I would turn to the kid and I'd be like, so what responsibility do you take in this? And then the parents would be like, because they were waiting to fight with me. And then I would look at the kid and I'm like, why didn't you turn it in? Well, because of, and I was like, well, did you not have this opportunity? Yeah. So then it was a choice. And then I'd be like, you're lucky that you have parents that love you this much, that they're sitting here with you, because there are kids that parents don't come to parent teacher conferences, that they don't care what their grades are like. And you're being disrespectful to your parents by not doing the homework. All of a sudden now the parents are starting to get pissed at the kid because then they're like, yeah, they are disrespecting me. They are. And then all of a sudden, guess who's no longer in the hot seat? And I learned that by being around crazy family members. I learned that truthfully. Like that's how it was. Like, unfortunately, the trauma of having siblings, older brothers who threw tantrums and who did shit that was wrong, or parents that, you know, didn't handle emotional things correctly. I learned how to just kind of sit there and be like, all right, you want to break that table? Damn, that sucks for that table. Someone's gonna have to pay for that. It's not gonna be me. But at some point,
like I buy that table.
That out. Yeah, and so, you know, I think that a lot of just people's attitudes. There are times that I will come at people and give them that same energy, and then I pull it back, and then all of a sudden I'm like, we're good, we're okay. I just had to yell back at you, and now we're fine. Few and far between does that happen though. It's few and far between. So yeah, I mean, those are all interesting.
That little fucker was snoring just now. I don't know. Did y'all hear that? I just heard him go.
Yeah, he snores.
He gets in like, he's super comfortable right now. The only time he snores is when he's really warm and he's like feels safe and he's comfortable.
Yeah, I agree. Anyways, I know you went on a trip. So what are some good things that happened on that trip?
There was a lot actually. I mean, it was a lot of like just like nonstop going. I mean, we did the manatee, swimming with the manatees, and my friends are gonna hate me for this, but those things are fucking ugly. It's the only place you can swim with them legally in the nation.
Oh wow.
And so it's highly illegal to swim with them because it disturbs them. They don't do well with vibrations. So like when you're swimming with them, you can't like kick your feet. You can only doggy paddle, and that's why you have to have a noodle. And so you're literally on the noodle, and then your body's just kind of floating, and then you have the snorkel, and so you're snorkeling and to see them. The water's pretty shallow. It was cold. You're in a wetsuit though. And it's kind of crazy because you don't always know where they're at, and they're pretty large. And so like several points, like I was just kind of swimming, and I put my head down, and I'm like, oh my god, she's right there, she's right there. And they come up every 5 minutes for air, and so all of a sudden here comes a little body, and there goes my body, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm not supposed to be touching it. But that was cool. And then we did oh my god, the food we had was just insane.
I was gonna ask you about that.
So good.
Oh,
I made myself sick on the last night. We went to Topolino's. It's this rooftop restaurant, and you get a view of like everything. So you get all the Disney fireworks from all around. It's gorgeous. And the food was, oh my god, it was insane. But everywhere is freezing cold. That you go inside, it's just cold. But the food, I think I had at Topolino's, I had the tomato soup, which I never get. Oh my god, that stuff was amazing. And then Disney caters to if you have any allergies. Like,
oh, so you were
everywhere
like in
you
heaven.
go, yeah. So like I went to at Woody's at the Hollywood Studios. They have like the Woody's, like the Toy Story area, and so it's like Woody's barn. And so I wanted a brisket.
When you said Woody's,
Jordyn.
I was like, oh, it's Woody's. Like, I never heard of Woody's before.
So they have it was like the barbecue spot, and it was like right outside of the Toy Story area. And so I went up to go like get food because I was like, I'm hungry. And I was just like, can I get the brisket sandwich without the bread? And then she goes, is it an allergy? And I go, well, I have a gluten allergy, so I can't have the bread. And then she was like, no, I'm sorry, we can't do that. And then she's like, but it's okay, we're gonna figure this out. And then she like gets on her little mic, and she goes, she was like, can we have what do they call it? A guest? Can we have a guest advocate come up to the front? We have a guest who has allergies. And I was like, no, that's okay. It's okay. I'll just order something else. She's like, no, it's fine. And so they called tater tots potato barrels. And so like,
that
I
sounds
wanted
so good.
potato barrels and brisket. And so like they have a specialist come up, and she goes, so is it an allergy? And I go, yeah. I was like, I'm allergic to like gluten. And she goes, we take that very seriously, and we're going to make sure that you're okay. She goes, we can't do just the meat. She goes, but we do have gluten-free bread. She's like, it's the Udi's brand. She's like, it's going to take a little bit longer because we're very careful not to cross-contaminate. She goes, so if you don't mind that, that's what we'll do. They did not charge me extra for it. And it took longer, but oh my god, it was so fucking good. Because I'm used to going places, and I can't have certain things. And like everywhere we went, the first thing they ask you is who has allergies, and they're like, she has a gluten allergy. Every single place I went to, they brought me gluten-free bread. And it was the most glorious thing on the freaking planet, because they were bringing fresh gluten-free bread. And then they had like one of the places we went to in Epcot, it was like maple, because it was like the Canadian part of it. And so it was maple sugar butter, which I never get to have bread rolls like at Texas Roadhouse. I used to love those, and like I don't ever get to have them. So I got full on bread. And then like, but the food was just insane. It was just so freaking good. Like, I mean, and then we did the Hollywood Studios after dark. So after 9 o'clock, like you have to have like the certain passes to stay there. So the park is pretty empty, and you're able to just like walk up to the rides. You're not having to wait in line. And then they have Disney ice cream, soda, and popcorn. You're not paying for it. You can have unlimited amount. And you just get it. And yeah. And so they have like stations at all the different areas. And so you're just walking, you want a Coke, grab a water, grab a Sprite.
Damn, that's cool.
And then they had so they had like the Disney ear like ice cream, but then they also had like the Mexican paletas. So like,
oh my gosh.
You had that choice. And then they just had stacks and stacks of like the popcorn boxes. And so it was a lot of fun. It was a blast. We had fun. I spent one of the days just literally like at the pool, and like we went shopping. I mean, it was a really good trip.
Do you like roller coasters?
I love roller coasters.
Do you like roller coasters?
I love roller coasters.
Same.
Yeah, I love roller coasters.
I used to be so scared though getting
Same.
on, like, so when I was a baby, this isn't that like I used to get scared getting on any ride, but when I was a baby, my mom told me the story, and I remember it too. The Ferris wheel would freak me out, because when we would get high up top, like it would like it would
shake a little bit.
it would like it would like make me so scared. So I want to get off so badly. I unbuckled my seat
Oh,
and
shit.
I slipped through it.
Oh my
And
god.
it scared my mom so much. But if you ask her about it, she'll literally tell you
Wait,
that
like
story.
you slid on the bench?
No, like I slid off the seat because I didn't want to be on it anymore.
That's crazy.
I don't know how I survived, but I did. And my mom was like, I remember her telling me that story. And I remember it happening too. Like I used to be so scared. Like really scared.
That's how I felt with roller coasters. I remember when I was a kid, I always would my mom would be like, "Come on, like," because she obviously like you don't want your kid to be scared of roller coasters.
Right.
You want them to have fun. So she's like, "Come on, just come on." I'm like, "No, I don't want to go on a fucking roller coaster."
You and Sammy would have been best friends.
Oh my god! And then when I can't remember how old I was, but it was like the first time we went to Vegas as a family. Because when we went to Vegas, I was pretty young, and I think I talked about this in the last podcast or one of the last ones. The like Circus or Excalibur or something.
Yeah.
She bought the passes for that. That shit was so fun, and ever since then, I love roller coasters. And even this isn't related to roller coasters necessarily, but one of the things that I want to do that I've never like would have expected myself to want to do is skydive. That shit looks so sick. I've been diving down a rabbit hole on TikTok of like skydiving videos because I seen it on some thing I was watching. I was like, that looks so cool. And I started watching it again. I'm like,
I have a friend whose family owns a skydiving place out in
would you go skydiving?
Yeah.
I'm scared of skydiving because I'm scared what if I don't pull the thing?
You don't.
You're strapped to the
jumping
person's
with somebody
back.
else.
Or to the person strapped to you, and they're the ones pulling it because you have to
They're
jump.
trained.
What
Yeah.
if they're suicidal and they just want to die?
Oh my god,
Okay, that's dark as hell.
that's a good question though.
Like,
No, that's crazy.
Wow.
What if though? I wonder if that's happened before.
oh God.
Okay, let's
That's scary.
not ask these questions. That's kind of like
What time does Sammy get off?
late. He's gonna meet us later on.
When I see him, I'm gonna ask him like, "Hey, do you know if anybody's like ever like killed themselves like skydiving on purpose and like as a skydiving instructor?"
Where do you even land, low key?
There's a field. There's like an open
Oh,
field.
I thought you just
like,
land anywhere.
No, so like I was actually like I was
Like on buildings
in
and
someone's
shit.
in someone's backyard.
Yeah.
He's
No,
like, "Hey,
so,
sorry."
like, sorry. We'll get out of your backyard. The dogs start chasing you. No, they have like they know how to control it down. I was talking to Anthony the other day about skydiving because he did it in the military. And
Ooh.
so I was like, I know, I didn't realize that it was so different though. Cause he goes, you have your pack. He goes, there's a weight. And he said that one of the times he landed, he felt like something weird and he had fractured like something. And so he goes, we walked 13 miles back to like to the base. He's like, and then they checked and they were like, oh yeah, you like broke it. Like, and I was like, what the hell?
Skydiving is already so specific, and like the form that you have to have when you're coming down, the direction of like the way that you're flying, even like the weather is a factor of it. And if you're skydiving in the military, you're just on go. You
different.
still got like,
Yeah.
I wonder how many pounds of like things that you have strapped to you
said
when
it
you're
was
doing that.
He said it was a decent amount of weight.
That's
'Cause
crazy.
He goes, you don't land softly the way that you do when you're skydiving. He's like, you land pretty hard.
Because you're like gliding in when you're
Because
skydiving.
I can't remember whose father it was that was like a jumper, and he lost inches on his height because of how many times he would jump, and when he would land, it was compressing his back.
Shit.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
They were like, he was like 6'1", and then when he got out, he was like 5'10" or something like that. Yeah.
That's insane.
But I mean, it also shows how much
It's like an accordion,
impact,
like
like how much impact it's on your body.
Ooh.
So yeah, I think like
that freaks me out. Wow. I would have.
And I remember her saying that, and like he like explained it to me one time, and I was like, I never would have thought about that. He's like, I used to be taller, and I was like, oh, whatever. And then he's like, no, I was, and his wife was like, yeah, like he was taller. But after years, I think they get extra money for doing that, because I don't know if they were the ones that were remember we used to do the adopt a school for the soldiers.
Oh yeah,
And they would come in. We had one of the guys that was like, I hate doing it. He's like, but it's extra money.
Doing what, skydiving?
Like he was one of the jumpers, yeah.
Oh shit.
And he was just like, I hate it. He's like, but it's, and I was like, are you scared? He goes, every time. every time. He's
Damn.
so scared. He's like, but it's money. Like, it's extra money. So, yeah.
That's crazy. But
I
yeah,
don't know.
because you have to skydive with a person like a bunch of times before they let you skydive by yourself. It's just so you can get used to like the repetitiveness
Yeah,
of.
and you're aware of like the wind patterns and
Mhm.
like there's so many different factors that go into it.
I just want to do some cool shit. Like, I want to go skydiving or indoor skydiving would be cool too. Would you do that?
Yeah, that would be really cool.
We can do that in Parker.
We should do that.
We should do that.
That'd be really fun.
When should we do that? Like,
We can go on Groupon and find the thing, and then we can record it.
it's settled. We're going skydiving, people.
Indoor
That shit's
skydiving,
sick.
guys.
I mean, it literally is the opposite because it's like blowing air up at you, and so you're going up and then you go down. But yeah, we can do that.
that shit is
It'd be
so
fun.
fucking
Yeah,
cool.
We can definitely do that.
Oh my god.
I think that'll be cool. But no, so okay, I was gonna show you the video that you said you hadn't seen yet.
Okay. And what video is this again?
My
my back
fat girl
hurts.
video.
Your fat girl video.
Oh, let me turn this music down.
Guess we don't get copyright stricken.
Copyright stricken.
My mother's calling me.
I can barely see this hoodie, but I love this fucking hoodie.
I like it too. I think that's cool.
Oh damn.
I turned the music off so that we don't.
That's crazy.
I know. I had a couple people reach out and they were like, "It doesn't even look like you."
Yeah, because whoa.
The big difference.
Yeah.
The big difference.
I mean,
literally.
it's basically half a person.
Half.
And you know what's crazy is I don't remember looking like that.
You know what's crazy? That's what I love about you. Is like you're still the same person, big or
Yeah.
skinny, regardless of your skin.
I
Like you
don't-
don't like you didn't change just how you
No,
look.
I've always been the same level of weird and random.
Yes.
But
It's
like,
crazy.
yeah, I know.
I was just like looking at that picture. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah, I've had so many people like reaching out. They're just like, "That's insane!" Like, and one of the common things I get is, "I don't remember you looking like that. I don't remember you being that big."
I don't remember you looking like that.
I mean, at this point, I've maintained my
Me
weight loss
either,
for.
actually. I think
3
it's because we were
years.
around you so much that we didn't because I didn't even recognize the weight loss either.
No, I think it was for the people who hadn't seen me because you guys
Mhm.
saw me every day.
Yeah, we were around you all the
so
time.
it was different, and you guys were watching me also. I don't know if you remember when I would break out in those rashes and I would get
Mhm.
like red, like all around my neck, and like I would just get super, super like it's all these weird autoimmune things that I had that it was like, thank God I haven't had them anymore because I used to be like allergic to the sun.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, like I would. If I would get out in the sun, I would burn like this. And now like I tan. I get like a really nice tan. I didn't used
That's
to get
good.
that. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy to see like where that.
Shit, I remember the first time I saw you after you lost all that weight. That shit was crazy as hell. I thought you were like sick or something. I was like, God
You
damn.
thought I was sick?
Yeah, because it's like you see like how you were, and then
Like,
versus
he's like,
She was not that big.
how you were versus how you were when I saw you.
yeah.
Because you were still like, you hadn't evened out yet. Like, it was still like really skinny instead of like now you got like muscle and shit.
No, I was muscular when I saw you.
Really?
Actually, when I saw you,
I disagree.
I was.
No, I'm just kidding.
Because I had because that was at the height. That was right before I met the other idiot that we won't talk about. But I was like in the gym like 2 a day. Like I was leaner. I think I weigh probably about 10 pounds more now than what I did then. But
That shit was just crazy. I was like, damn.
yeah, because I think I showed you guys a picture of me in the gym where you could see like literally like all the.
Mhm.
So I was like, wait, because at that point I'd already been in the gym for like probably a year, and I was doing 2 a days at that point, and so I was like,
Sheesh, man.
I was definitely smaller for sure. I mean, the
Mhm.
body dysmorphia is crazy. Like I was telling Jalen the other day, one of the pictures I showed her, I was like, I never saw myself that small. She goes, your legs are so tiny. And I was like, I never saw myself that small. I never did. Like I always still was like, I'm still big. And I still sometimes battle that, honestly. Like there's times where I'm just like, but I'm still me. Still the same old me, like
Mhm.
random.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is I didn't ever have that experience where you're like, oh my God, Like I never, cause I'm telling you, I literally even outside of school, like even outside of school, I would always be with her all the time.
She was always with me.
So I've never had that like, oh my god, like.
But it was interesting to see people have those reactions. And I was telling Aaron upstairs earlier when I was FaceTiming him, I was like, and we've talked about this before, is that, you know, the people that were like, you're too skinny. And I was like, if you couldn't tell me I was too big before and that I was unhealthy, don't talk shit to me now. Like, don't say anything about it now. Because I'm in the gym every single day. I'm eating what I'm supposed to be eating. I'm the healthiest I've been probably in years. Obviously, like when I was younger, I was very fit and athletic, and life changed all those things for me. But he goes, wait, people actually said that? And I was like, oh yeah. Yeah. I was like, everyone has their opinions. I was like, I had actually run into an ex that I dated for several years. So we dated for almost 3 years, and then we broke up. We didn't see each other, speak to each other for a long time. So then the next time I saw him, I was probably still like 40 pounds heavier than what I am currently. And he like looked at me and he was like, whoa, he's like, you lost a lot of weight. And I go, and you gained a lot of weight.
Damn.
And then I was like, so the weight I lost, I think you gained it. Cause I was like, no, we're not playing that game. And he was just like, it's crazy because I didn't recognize you. I didn't. And I was like, but clearly you did, because you came up to me and then like, you know, whatever. But yeah, he was like, I was like, I'm gonna start coming for people with that shit. And that was at that point. Now I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, people can have whatever opinion they want to have. I know what I'm doing in the gym, outside of the gym. I know what dedication it takes. I mean, at this point, you guys, you know, because you guys have had that experience of basically living this life with me. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Low key, when I seen you yesterday, I was like, damn, okay. She putting in that work, dude.
See?
I seen your uniform. I was driving away without my salad. And I'm like, oh my God.
You know what's
looks
crazy?
so...
I just don't see that, you know, unless I'm like really looking, unless I take progress photos. It's still a work in progress.
It was only
obviously.
a week in between the last time I saw you, and then I was like,
and the pants look, I look like I got clown pants on, huh? They're so big on me.
Those big baggy
pants. That one day that we're like, you do not wear those anymore.
My mom is going through the same thing. She's like, yeah, because I keep seeing her in these work shirts. I'm like, damn, this shit is huge. She's like, it used to fit. And I'm like,
like,
you know what's crazy? I think when I really recognized it, when you started sending me like pictures of like before and after, that's when I really noticed it. Because I was like, oh my God, I never realized you were, you know, like the before and after. Like,
I was large.
Yeah, I was like, I never realized you
that I was extra
big.
large.
Hefty.
Extra
hefty.
But like I will keep saying, she is still the same person, big or small. That's literally genuinely what I love about her. She
still have the biggest heart. You know, your heart didn't go smaller.
And that
bigger. The Grinch heart.
That's funny.
No, he calls me yesterday, and I answered the phone like I normally do. And do you remember that day when you and Jalen called me, and then I was like, hello, and then you just start talking to me, and then you go, wait, you didn't say what up, ho? You go, are you okay? And then
yeah, because I was like, because she had said something crazy, and I was like, well, how come you can't just say fucking hello, dude?
And then I go, because then we wouldn't have an interesting conversation to start with.
And I was joking. I was saying, yeah, because I feel like I would be like, oh, okay, it's like, hey, what's up? But if you did say hi without saying like something crazy, I'd be like,
what's wrong with her?
Are you okay?
Literally, because that's what she is.
Mad at me?
Yeah, because she did that one day where she was like, I was like, hello. And I think I was just like getting ready. So I was like in my head about something else. And then she starts talking. She goes, wait, you didn't say what up, ho? And she goes, are you okay? What's wrong? Are you bad? And I was like, no. And Tyler said that too. And like, if I don't answer the phone, like, you know how when he calls it, bitch, what up, bitch? And like, he's like, there's been a couple times I'm like, hello. And he's like, what's wrong? Are you okay?
You should start doing that to people when people would call you. You'd be like, hello. But just to see what they say.
Have you been kidnapped? What's going on?
Hello. What's wrong with you?
Just so we can get the reaction.
Because it happens quite a bit. But I mean, we ended up having a really good conversation actually after that when we were talking about, we talked about like sometimes when you feel alone and you feel like you have no friends and like you feel kind of defeated. And so Jordyn and I were talking about how like it's very easy for like the enemy to come in, the devil essentially to come in and to convince you that like you're alone and that nobody loves you and nobody wants you. And I was telling Jordyn, you know, I was like, I went through that as well. And it reminded me of I can't remember if it was Tasha Cobbs or CeCe Winans. I was listening to that song when I was up in South Carolina, up on the mountain, going to the Pretty Place Chapel, and it was a song I'd never heard before. And she was talking about how, she is this preacher, and she preaches to people about God and goodness and love and grace and all this stuff. And she would go home and she was so depressed. She felt like she was alone. She's like, I went home by myself. She's like, I'd shut my curtains, I'd lay in my bed, and I would just cry. She's like, and I would think, like, if I was not here tomorrow, nobody would care. It wouldn't matter. And I told Jordyn, I was like, there was a point in my life where I felt the same way. And like, I would be at work and at school, and I could go to any fast food place or Safeway, anywhere here in Fountain, and somebody would recognize me, especially back then, because like I was in the middle of teaching. And so like I had so many people, and as everyone gets older, less and less, but still people are like, oh my God, you were my teacher. And I'm like, I was like, I don't, like, you're so grown, I don't remember at this point. But because Jordyn was saying like he's experienced some of that same type of feeling sometimes. And I think everyone goes through that sometimes, where you're just kind of like, I have nobody, I have no friends, I don't have people who love me. And so I told Jordyn, I was like, obviously going up to South Carolina was a bucket list thing for me. It was so huge. And it was, Sammy encouraged me to go, because Sammy's like, Mom, you've always wanted to go there, you should go. And one of the things that I have come to realize through the whole situation of everything that I've been going through the last several months is that, um, you know, we're not alone. It's the enemy who tries to convince us that we're alone. And so like, it's those moments where you have quiet moments and you have to kind of be by yourself and be in your head. And that's when those voices start telling you you're not good enough. You don't have enough friends. You don't have enough this. There's not enough activity going on in your life. You're not doing anything. You're not being successful. And that's the enemy trying to distract you from the goodness that God has for you. And so I told Jordyn, I was like, one of the things that I recognize is that I had to learn how to be better about being in that moment and saying, you know what, right now, right here, like the three of us in Taco, like this is a moment that, a year from now, I don't know where we're going to be or what we're going to be doing. So I have to appreciate like this moment right now. I'm sorry, the taco thing was.
Yeah, because look at him.
he's in the moment. But like being in the moment. And one of the things I learned from the past year was that, I need to learn how to be more in the moment and appreciate and we've talked about this before.
Yeah,
like appreciate where you're at, because you don't know what's going to change, or like who else is going to come into the picture, or who's going to leave, or what dynamics are going to change. And I told Jordyn, I was like, to me, it's very much God saying, I'm giving you goodness and I'm giving you blessings. But until you can recognize those and you can have this appreciation, this joy about what I have in front of you, I can't give you anymore. And so I think the example we were talking about was like food, right? Like if you give somebody a plate of food and they're like, I'm so hungry, I just want food. And God's like, here's your plate of food. And then you look at it and you're like, that's not what I wanted.
Yeah.
That's not what I wanted. So God is our Father. And so God says, you know what? I gave you what you asked for. You're not ready for the steak yet because you still haven't finished what I put in front of you. I know you want that steak. I know that's what you want.
But you got to eat these saltines first.
Yeah, like I know what your heart desires. But like you need to like seriously like appreciate what's in front of you before I gift you anything else, because you're not going to be ready for anything else. And I think a lot of us do that because we will look at, like, oh, I'm alone. No, I'm not. I'm not alone. I have Sammy. I have you guys. I have my family. I have friends. I have people who love and support me. And because one person was treating me badly, then I'm going to throw all that away. And I did that for so many years and so many instances where I was just like, I focused so much on what I lacked that I wasn't focusing on what I had. And I think that sometimes it's not that being grateful gives us more blessings. It makes us more aware of the blessings we do have. So when you are like, you know what? I'm grateful for that small plate that's in front of me. This is awesome. This is so good. And then all of a sudden you look to your right and you're like, I'm also grateful for that cup of water because it's not tainted and it's not going to make me sick. Like other people have to worry about their water making them sick, and I don't have to worry about that. And so, yeah, do I maybe want a soda instead of the water? Absolutely. But I'm going to be grateful for that water that's not going to make me sick. And one day when you have that soda and you have that steak in front of you and you have exactly what you've been asking God for, because God promises us that he's going to fulfill the desires of our heart. We just have to be grateful for it. That's when you're going to look back and you'll be like, I have everything I prayed for. Like today I have everything I prayed for, like what I wanted yesterday. And I think that a lot of us, that's how we fall into those traps.
I really needed to hear that today, actually.
Yeah,
Speaking of that.
we focus a lot on the things that we don't have. And it's
Mhm.
like, I mean, I have to figure out if it was CeCe Winans or Tasha Cobb's song, but she was like, she goes, when we get into that mindset, we get into the spirit of rejection. We start thinking like, I'm being rejected, I'm not being chosen, I'm not being given love, I'm not being given grace, I'm not, God doesn't love me, look at what's happening to me. And it's like, it's not rejection. You
Mm-mm.
have to curse the spirit of rejection, because that's not what God wants for you. God wants goodness for us, and God is giving that to us.
Mhm.
But until we can appreciate what's in front of us, we're not going to get anything else. And because
Exactly.
I mean, here's the reality. Obviously, you guys know my mom, like she took her own life. And when we went in after to go clean her house and to like get everything in order, she had a paid off brand new beautiful car in her garage. She had cash that she had hidden all around her house. She had a brand new laptop that was still in the box that had sat there for 3 months that she didn't open. She had a brand new flat screen TV. She had jewelry. She had more clothes than, I mean, that's probably where my love of clothes came from, because she loved clothes and she loved dressing up. None of that was good enough for her. Not the
Mhm.
fact that she had children who were, you know, in college and had gotten degrees and were, she had a grandchild. None of that was good enough. It was, and obviously she was mentally ill, but it was also enough of that self-pity of feeling sorry for yourself and not allowing the goodness of what God has for you to like penetrate in your body, and instead listening to the voice of the enemy that's telling you you're not good enough, you're never going to be good enough, you're never going to have enough, you're never going to, people don't love you, you're alone, look at you, you're by yourself. Yeah, we're going to have periods of being alone, but
But that
that's
doesn't mean we're alone.
exactly, like we're never alone. God is always with us. And if you don't learn how to be okay with being alone, then you're never going to be okay in a relationship. And that's why so many relationships are
Exactly.
so
Oh
broken
my god.
too.
Yes, I 100% agree because like back to my phrasing, like how can you love yourself and how can you just like be within yourself, but well no, how can, man, I just ruined what I was gonna say.
No,
What I
I know
meant
what
to
you're
say
saying.
was like,
Mm.
if you can't love yourself, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Then how can you love others? You know, if you don't allow the goodness that God has for you in your life, and you don't allow God's love, how can you love someone else in a
Right.
relationship? You know?
Or what ends up happening is that you end up finding somebody, and instead of loving yourself, you pour that love into them. And when they don't reciprocate and they don't pour that love back into you, then you're left with nothing. And
Mm-hmm.
you haven't been loving yourself. So you haven't taken care of yourself. You've been taking care of them. So all your efforts literally went to something, into somebody that maybe possibly didn't deserve it. And so then you end up walking away feeling very empty, when the whole time you should have been relying on God's love and God's guidance to be able to say, you know what? I love you, and I'm going to show you love, and I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
show everybody love, whether I like you or not. But I have to love myself enough to love myself first. Because I mean, it's the whole airplane thing, right? Like, you can't help someone else put their oxygen on if you yourself can't breathe.
Nope.
Like, it's just not going to happen. And so I think too many people depend on others for their happiness. One of the best things I've heard is, don't ever allow the key to your happiness to live in someone else's pocket.
Nope.
It can't.
Mm-mm.
You have to be able to stand on your own and say, you know what? I am happy regardless of whether you're in my life or not. Do I want you in my life? Do I want to have somebody who's going to add to my life? 100%. But if you can't add to my life in a positive way, then I'm going to love you from afar. And I think
Exactly.
I think we were talking about this, where my therapist was saying, you know, a lot of the way that I was raised was, family's everything, blood is everything, you got to do everything you can for your family, and you better take care of them, and I think Latinos are big on that. They're like, you better take care of yours, and you better make sure, and you're going to support your parents when they get older, and this and that and blah blah blah. And so that was drilled in my head constantly. I was also raised in a household where I was always hyper aware of other people's feelings and emotions and not my own. I wasn't allowed to have emotions. My sister and I were talking about this the other day. I wasn't allowed to have emotions. If we got upset, if we were sad, like when my dad died, I remember my sister was crying one time. And, you know, I love my parents for who they were. I'm sure they did the best that they could. They've been gone for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember my sister was upset. There was a memory that had sparked of my dad, and she started crying. And my mom was like, looked at her and was like, you don't, why are you upset? He was only your dad. He was my husband. And so that's how we were raised, to feel like our feelings didn't matter. We also had a mother who, again, I love her very much, but she was narcissistic. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was about her always. And if it wasn't about her, she wasn't happy. So we learned that in order to to be okay with those around us, we had to make sure everybody else was taken care of, and we never took care of ourselves. And so in that, we learned a very, very bad thing, which was take care of others and make sure others are okay. And you worry about yourself last, or you hope that somebody's going to come along and take care of you. But the reality is people don't give a shit. They don't. And so my therapist said to me, he was like, he goes, you want to take a heart, you draw a heart. He goes, and I want you to write down all the people who have a place in your heart. He goes, even the ones who have hurt you. So my siblings, my family, my friends, the things that I love. And then he goes, now what I want you to do is I want you to take a line. He said, in every single one of those people, he said, who are feeding into your life, who are feeding you, life and supporting you. He said, draw a line out from that heart. And I was like, okay. And so like, I have all these people written down in this heart, and there's lines coming out. And then he goes, what do you notice? And I go, well, not everybody has lines. And he goes, okay. He goes, so here's what you need to do. He goes, those lines, that's blood that is being poured into your heart. He said, we know the heart needs blood to pump. He goes, it needs blood to survive. He goes, and so in order for us to survive, you have to have that blood being pumped, that love, that goodness. He goes, the people that live inside of your heart that aren't reciprocating, aren't giving you that blood, you can love them still, but you got to love them from the outside. He goes, so you got to take them and place them on the outside and say, you know what? I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to love you. And if you ask me for help, I will help you, but I am no longer going to give of myself to you freely and let you take advantage of me and my goodness. I will love you from the outside, and the people on the inside, they give me blood, I give them blood. So I'm going to take all the energy I was giving all these other people who didn't value and appreciate it, and I'm going to give it to the people inside of it and give it to myself first, and then give it to them. So I have a healthy heart. People don't get that. Like, that was mind blowing to me.
I mean, that's like kind of making me tear up because it's like hitting.
It's crazy,
like, it just,
though, right?
It hits really deep,
Yeah, because you look at your life in terms of like, I've said this to, I think I was telling Jordyn this. I was telling you this yesterday. When I looked at the list of like everything that I went through, and you guys know, obviously, like what I've been through. And I don't say that to make it sound like, oh my God, it's the most traumatic thing ever. Like, whatever. It happened. It is what it is. You learn a lesson, you move on. But you guys know how hard it was. And so like, there was a list I made of people that were constantly checking on me. I mean, there were moments with all of you. Like I told you, like when we were all upstairs that one day and we were watching that movie, and I was like laying there, and here's Sammy and you and Jalen, and we're watching this movie, and Taco's on the bed. And I just like sat there and I was like, this is one of the most peaceful moments I've experienced in my life in such a long time. And then going to go get the milkshakes with you that one day, and just sitting in the car and just talking with you, and you making that time, and are you okay? And when you were like, you would text me, are you eating? Did you eat? Are you okay? When I was having issues like with the seizures and stuff, and everyone's like checking in on me, or like Anthony just being like, have you eaten today?
I forgot about that.
Yeah. When Anthony would be like, did you eat today? My cousin calling me up. You're not still, how are you doing? Are you feeling okay? I'm checking on you. My friends, Dia and Vicky, and obviously Sammy. Oh my God. The kid like literally would not leave my side for like 3 freaking days. He was like right there, and every and anything I needed, he was there. My sister, my brother-in-law, like I have people in my life that like I can say like these people live in that heart. Everybody else who was taking up space, I love my siblings, I love my brothers, but they take up space because they don't give me that same love. Like I've done so much, and so at this point in my life, I'm like, I love you, but you now live outside of my heart. You get to feel the love that I give to others, but you feel it on the outside. You're no longer going to be a part of me feeding into you directly like I was, because you're not giving me anything. And so all of these people now are living on this outside, and those people that are my core, that's who lives in my heart, and that's who gets my energy. And so that's probably one of the biggest lessons I think I have learned, that really has, I don't think I have had more peace and more settlement in my heart and my soul than I have currently. It's just, it feels very, very different.
Yeah, that's what you always say. It feels very different this time,
It feels very different because I think that, what happened needed to happen. I am grateful for, the goodness that came out of it.
Exactly.
I don't like the way that I had to learn the lesson, but some of us are slow learners, and
Exactly.
clearly
Like
that's
God,
me.
like you always tell me, no regrets, just lessons.
No regrets, just lessons. And out of this one, I think sometimes we have to break in order to be put back together correctly.
I
And
feel like that's what
to,
happened to you.
yeah, to break, but to also like be like, all right, so now I'm broken. And so like, if you think of like a vase, like you drop it, it shatters. It's never going to be exactly the same, but maybe it's no longer meant to be a vase. Maybe now it's meant to be something else.
Something bigger and better.
Like
Something
Legos.
better. Yeah, Legos. Yeah, exactly. And so you take those pieces and you rearrange them in a way that now serves you better. And I think most people see like betrayal and that type of situation that I've been through, they see it as like, it's like the end all. And I've heard people like in the groups that I was in that were like, I will never trust anybody again. And I still believe in love. I still trust people. I know there are good people out there in this world. I've seen it. I have it in front of me every single day. I have people who love and support me. And I know the goodness is there, but now I know how to spot the bad ones a lot better. And that's a lesson that like, I would never want to change. So I think that was, I mean, starting our conversation yesterday, we were just like, what up? And then we're like talking all that crap. And then jumping into that, it was like, I think until I said it out loud to you and I had to like verbally say that, I was like, damn, that was like an intense moment that is just like, I just feel a different peace than I've ever felt.
It makes me really happy to hear because I know how broken you were, but like you told me, like the lesson that you've learned out of this is a big one, and like the fact that God revamped you into something bigger and better than what you were before is
He's
a
not
huge
done.
blessing.
He's not done, and God promises He's going to protect us and take care of us, and
Exactly.
and the whole, you know, He's we're not responsible for healing others. We're not responsible for getting revenge on anybody else.
To change anyone.
And so like knowing that now, and also like I think now also knowing that, I think it was a sermon either 2 weekends ago where Pastor Brady said, we are not responsible for fixing others. That is not a God-given job for us. That's not our job.
Nope.
And I always was told, you have to be there for your family. You have to fix these people. So I was always a fixer, but I never took care of myself. And my conversation I had with my sister, I was like, I'm done. I was like, unless I'm being asked to help, I'm going to mind my own damn business. I want to live in peace. I want to live in a very happy, like the me that is laughing and jokes around and has fun. That's where I want to live. I don't want to live in that place of, oh my gosh, this person has this and this and this going on. I will pray for you. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not touching that problem. I'm not messing with it because it's not my issue. Because I will tell you, I know the people who live in my heart, who are at the core, the people who were there for me, that's who's going to remain there. Everyone else gets to just kind of live on that outside. So,
amen.
Yeah.
I like that.
Kind of an insightful, crazy one, but it was that's a big one for me. It's a big one. And I feel like this year is going to come with a lot more revelations. I mean, some that are weirder and odder and
some that make you uncomfy
yeah.
and feel dirty.
If you know, you know.
All right, I want to do so. I think it's time for a little bit of trivia.
Oh what?
Trivia. Oh yeah, me and Susan talked about this.
And I think you and Millie should go up against each other with a couple questions. Let's see. Hold on.
Yeah, I forgot. Me and her talked about this.
Why is this my first time hearing about this?
Sorry.
That's how it goes.
What the fuck?
It'll be fun.
All right. All right. How are we gonna do this?
I don't feel like I'm gonna get a lot of answers right because like I did half my school year skipping your class, so
I'm definitely not gonna know any of these.
Yeah, okay, first of all, I don't need those negative attitudes.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Just do it. Just do it.
So, all right. So, are we gonna do this like Jeopardy style, or like how are we gonna?
I have no clue what's going on.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask a question, and then whoever knows the answer thinks they know the answer first.
Just say it.
Do you
blurt
raise your
out.
hand?
Beep.
We need
My
like
turn.
Please don't do
that. Okay. All right. Ready?
Yes.
In a website browser address bar, what does www stand for?
World Wide Web.
Yep. You got it, Jordyn. Guys, I'm a little slow. My brain is like Dory.
Okay. Which company slogan is "You're in good hands"?
Allstate.
Jordyn, give me some
I'm
time,
sorry.
Jordyn.
I'm trying.
Act like you don't know it for once, okay?
Okay.
So should I skip, like, go back and forth? Maybe?
I don't know.
Yes,
Okay.
you should.
So originally, Millie, Amazon only sold what kind of product?
Alexa.
I don't know that one. Computers.
Books.
Oh,
Oh,
books?
She said
yeah.
Alexa.
Audiobooks.
No,
Okay.
not audiobooks. Like
Wait.
like real books.
On God?
Yes.
Oh, wait.
he started Amazon in his garage, and then
This is something an only child would know. See, Jordan, I didn't even know what it
What
is.
the fuck?
All right, Jordyn,
Okay.
who painted the Mona Lisa?
Da Vinci.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, see? I knew that
Leonardo
one.
da Vinci.
Yeah, Leonardo.
Leonardo da Vinci. I, knew
I
that
was
one.
thinking like which Ninja Turtle?
Okay. Millie, what does SPF in sunscreen stand for?
Sun protection.
Factor.
No, because SPF, it's sun protection, right? Doesn't it protect you from the sun?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like sun protection something.
Factor. You're right.
Oh,
Did you know
you're
that?
right.
Or did you guess that?
I just guessed it.
I was
That's
gonna,
what I would have said.
I was gonna say something really stupid.
All right,
but I'm
Jordyn.
not saying that.
In what year was the internet open to the public?
In the 90s, right? Don't tell me the answer, but was it in the 90s?
Mm-hmm.
1998,
No.
99.
You can't do that.
Just, am I close?
What year do
Oh.
you think it was open?
Oh, okay, never mind. Go ahead. Go
Wait,
ahead.
what?
In what year do you think the internet was open to the public?
It's probably like way sooner than you'd expect.
Really? When was MySpace around?
You weren't
2000?
around for MySpace.
I know. I don't know. I feel like there was phones and stuff. I feel like the 2000s. Wait, guys.
Okay, so I will tell you guys this. I was in keyboarding class, okay? And we were introduced to the internet. The very first video I ever saw about the internet was Bill Gates? No.
NBC.
It was one of those guys talking about how they're like, you're going to be able to get onto your TV and you're going to be, they were talking about smell-o-vision.
Mm.
They said that was going to be a thing. And then they got us all email addresses. And I remember thinking, the teacher was like, you need to email 3 of your friends in class. And I was like, this is fucking stupid. They're sitting right there. I can just write them a note because we used to write notes back then.
Mm-hmm.
So what year?
It had to be in the 90s. No, in the 90s, right?
Yeah, well, we established that.
Mhm.
So
90s, so like 1995.
1993.
Damn.
Okay. All right. Millie, who is often credited with creating the world's first car?
I don't know this.
Henry Ford.
No, that's a good guess though. Carl Benz.
Oh, I thought it was Ford.
Oh, doesn't he? Never mind.
All right, Jordyn, who was the first woman pilot to fly solo across the
Amelia
Atlantic?
Earhart.
Amelia Earhart. All right. Let's see.
How many of these are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna do a couple more.
Okay. If Sammy was here, he'd be in the
he would
background,
know these.
He'll be winning first
like
place.
killing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these are kind of. Okay. In what country, Millie, did the first Starbucks open outside of North America?
Oh my. That is a good question.
This one actually kind of shocks me a little bit, but
I have no clue.
I have no clue.
guess.
Wait, you said outside of
Outside of North America.
You guess, and then if you get it wrong, I want to guess too.
North America?
What other countries are there, Millie? She says North America. Did you
North
skip
America is a
history class?
continent, by the way, though. That sentence is phrased wrong.
Yeah.
Jordyn, let's hear you guess.
No, you guess first. Okay. You said it surprised you, so I'm thinking like India,
That would surprise me though.
Japan.
It is Japan.
Oh, I was gonna say like.
I would have guessed like Italy or something.
Yeah.
I would have guessed Italy or something, but when she said it surprised her, I'm like, okay, it's something like you wouldn't expect.
All right, last one. Where were the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights stored during World War II?
That's a Jordyn question.
I have no clue.
That is not for me.
You guys don't know this?
Public school, baby.
Oh God.
Fort Knox.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought Fort Knox's only function was
See,
to store gold.
I would have gone a lot of answers if I wasn't skipping class just to go to Susan's
I
class.
mean,
But like, she just made everything fun, so I didn't have the span to sit there.
Lived in my class. Like,
Literally.
really.
Next time, I'll be asking the questions, guys. It'll be you guys versus each other.
That's cool. I
Yep.
like that. The trivia was actually kind of fun. That
Yeah,
was
like that.
cool.
But today was a good episode.
I
liked it.
kind of wish you had more questions.
I
now.
have some more.
Go a couple
Ask-
more.
ask-
Just do
ask
like,
them.
just do a couple more.
Okay, here. Hold on. Give me a second. You guys didn't. So okay. So where's Fort Knox? Who knows that one?
Texas.
I was about to say that, but I was about to say Tejas.
Oh, I don't know. I was just asking.
Oh my God.
Okay, so Millie, tell us some different countries.
Countries.
Yeah, while I pull this up.
Countries, not continents.
Mexico.
You be confident, girl. You got it.
Mexico. All right, Millie. What galaxy do we live in?
What galaxy do we live in?
Yeah, this is something I call you.
Milky Way.
Hell yeah.
Jordyn, how many bones are in the human body?
I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, brother.
I have
Yes.
no clue. You have a lot more bones than you would expect. So like over 100.
I have extra bones
Why?
because I have tori in
What's-
my mouth. It's extra bone that grows in your mouth. Not everyone has it.
Ugh. Ew. Is that what that?
His
That's
face.
tori. Do you have that
What?
in here?
That little.
Uh-uh.
That's
Oh,
weird,
those
isn't
look
it?
like extra teeth.
Yeah, that's just like.
What?
Yikes! You should get that looked at, girl.
It's normal.
Is it? Let me
Yeah.
see again.
Why
No,
is
go
it kind
down.
of interesting to look at?
It's tori.
Yeah, that's why I wanted
That's
to see
kinda-
it
she
again.
said that's why I want to see it again.
So when they put like the impressions, like when you go to the dentist, they hurt the fuck. Like it hurts so bad. The other day, you know how I buy those trail mix packs from Trader Joe's?
Mhm.
My nut got stuck in there and it fucking hurt
Oh.
so bad. Like it hurt really, really bad. But 206 bones. All right.
Damn.
What are the 5 senses?
5 senses. Oh, smell, touch, hear, vision, sense.
Sense?
Sense.
You
like,
know- we know what you
touch,
mean.
sensory. You know what I'm saying?
No. What? You already said
Like
touch.
Oh, you said
Oh,
touch?
wait,
Yeah.
wait. Let me do it again. Smell, touch,
Oh, you did say
hear,
touch. My bad.
see, smell. Wait, I said smell again.
You already said smell.
What was the last one? Wait,
I swear you didn't say smell.
isn't
Yes,
it
she
feel?
did. There's
It-
just one she's missing.
Am I not paying attention?
You're not.
See,
You're missing a real
taste.
Jordyn,
I'm
you
sorry.
he said.
I'm like, damn. Yeah. Okay, I wasn't
Taste.
paying attention. My
Okay,
bad.
what are diamonds made of? Jordyn.
Coal.
Carbon.
Coal. Isn't it coal?
Carl.
Isn't it coal?
I mean, I guess you can consider it coal. I mean,
Because
close
you
enough.
you can smash down coal in its raw form to get a diamond.
All right, 2 more questions, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
Millie, what is a group of crows called? Can you make the sound?
Pack of birds.
A pack of birds.
Wait, I have a. I want to answer. I want to ask one last question. We gotta bleep it out though. What is lube made out of? Wait, bleep that out. Bleep that out. We will be bleeping that out, guys.
We'll look it up after we're done.
Yeah, we'll look it up afterwards. So, what is a group of crows called?
Pack of birds.
No, it's a murder.
A murder.
I wouldn't have gotten that.
Just kidding, guys.
All
I
right,
didn't know
Jordyn,
that.
what food never spoils?
Twinkies.
No.
I don't fucking know. What?
Honey.
Honey.
Oh.
Oh, because it's from the bees.
It's because it's from the bees.
Buzz.
The bees knees.
All right, guys. So we have run pretty long. I think we missed each other clearly. So
We did. I missed
we're gonna
him.
wrap it up. But as always, what was that you?
That was
Yeah.
him. Oh,
That was me.
Oh, what the
okay.
fuck?
She's a bird. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up, and so we appreciate again always the love and support, and so
We will be celebrating tonight with each other. Not celebrating anything, just each other's company.
yeah.
Hell
gonna be a
yeah.
fun night.
I like
I'm
that.
excited.
I like that way of thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you give us a good rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We appreciate the love and support, guys. Always.
By the way, look at Taco. I'm gonna have to zoom
He
in on
keeps
him.
opening his eyes. Taco.
He's like,
Taco. Look at him.
He's
He's
like,
slowly
"Boy,
opening.
shut
He's
the
like, what the
hell
I
fuck
think
is
he's
that?
just tired.
From what though? He was sleeping when I got here.
I don't know.
Are you okay, buddy?
Taco.
say bye, Taco. You want to say bye to the people?
He's like, bitch, stop touching me. I was asleep. What the fuck is going
And
on?
he's so comfortable. Look at it. You know why? It's 'cause
It looks like he's smiling.
it's because he's warm. Hi, Bubba.
It's like, yo, what's up?
I know.
He looks
all
high.
right. Well, that's it for today. We appreciate all the love and support, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.